Sofirn. I really like this company. One of my favorite brands, and that's because I have been so happy with the value I've gotten from this company in the past. I've purchased 3 of their products with my own money, including this IF22A excellent thrower flashlight. I've got the LT1S lantern and SC31 Pro that I gave to a friend, but I've been very happy with every penny I've spent on Sofirn products thus far. Today we're going to check out the SC28. This was sent to the channel for review by Sofirn, so thank you very much for the opportunity to check this out, Sofirn. Unfortunately, I gotta say, I think this one's a miss for me. It's got an Achilles heel, which we'll go over in this video. However, there's still a lot to love about this flashlight. It's got a lot of great features, which we'll go over in this video, as well as the unboxing and what's included with it. We will go over the user interface and my thoughts on that, as well as show you the beam shots. So if all that sounds good, stick around. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the beam shots. This is the lowest output the SC28 has. It's 1 lumen. This can run for 1,000 hours. Then we'll jump up to low, which is 100 lumens. This can run for 15 hours on this output. You can see the beam profile is very even. So that's something to keep in mind. Pretty broad illuminator. Here's medium output, 350 lumens. This can run for 6 hours. And then from here we're going to jump up into high, which is 1,200 lumens, and this can run for 4 hours. I imagine it just tapers, it drops off gradually. But yeah, next up is turbo max output possible with this flashlight, 2,800 lumens. And even though the beam pattern is very broad, just the sheer amount of light does allow this to throw quite a ways, 223 meters max. And this does have ATR, or advanced thermal regulation, as well. So once the flashlight reaches 55 degrees Celsius, it can dim its output to keep it cool. The SC28 is IP68 water rated and drop safe to 1 meter. And right now you can pick up the SC28 for $46.99 at the time of recording on Amazon. And there is a 50% off coupon running on top of that. Feel free to pause and check any of the run times out, durability information, and so on and so forth. But the packaging is nice. Comes in a good box with a sleeve, one of those magnetic flaps. Very nice. I like that personally. And here's a little bit of the information on the CCT, or color temperature, the model. And yeah, when you open it up, this might not be exactly how it's packaged because I put it back as close to how I think it came. But you got the manual right here. We'll go over the user interface as well in the video later on. Here's a lanyard and some spare O-rings. You've got a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. The port covers right here. And there's that USB-C port. It does have an illuminator to let you know your charging status. And then when you turn the light on, this also lets you know your battery status in general. It'll go to green, to red, to flashing red to let you know what type of battery status you have. So you can kind of keep tabs on that, which is nice. The clip is good. Put this back on. The clip is good, very thick steel, well made. So look at the tail. It is tail standable. And this flashlight does use a 21700 battery, and I really like the 21700s that Sofirn provides in the IF22A and the LT1S lantern. I'll show you that battery now. As you can see, 5,000 milliamp hour capacity, 3.7 volt lithium ion rechargeable cell. It's a positive end, the negative end. So yeah, good battery in my opinion. I've gotten good performance out of these in the past, good run times. Let's look at the inside and then up the tail as well. But one of the coolest things about this light is kind of the face of it. I've never seen a flashlight that looks quite like this before. Check that out. Really cool. So yeah, you have TIR lens in there, and then this reflector is so unique. Almost looks like a really ornate, like, eyeball of some kind. I like the look of that. The bezel has kind of like, I guess, minimal crenulation, just with the aluminum body. And then, yeah, in the way of preliminary stuff, I'll just say the tail switch, I'm gonna give it a B. It's not my favorite tail switch ever. It's got a little bit of wobble. I mean, it's not really an issue. It's very usable. I'm being very nitpicky on the switch. Like I said, I'd still give it a B. The user interface is kind of what gets me on this though. Yeah, unfortunately I've got to critique the user interface of the SC28. I really like Sofirn, as I mentioned before, one of my favorite brands for flashlights, just incredible value in general you get with Sofirn. But I gotta be honest about this one. The user interface, the programmable feature, which we'll go over, is just a miss on this for me. I don't like how it was executed, and I do sympathize, or at least understand, why Sofirn made this programmable in the way that they did. I think they get a lot of fan feedback. A lot of users, let Sofirn know what they want. And Sofirn's one of those brands that does listen to user feedback a lot, which I respect. It's just that in this case, it's a miss for me personally. I'll let you be the judge if it's, gonna work for you or not. But basically, the user interface is nice and simple. There's only one switch, it's the tail switch. You can use it in a momentary fashion by lightly pressing or half pressing and then releasing. Or you can do a full press to, turn it on to the desired mode you want. And then from here, you've got access from the factory. It came in its factory setting, which just has access to the 5 modes from Moonlight all the way up to Turbo. So you got Moonlight low, medium, high, and Turbo. And yeah, how you do that is just after, you're on a mode, give it a little double click and you will ramp up your output from there and then back down to Moon. So that's how that works. Where things get interesting for me, kind of in a bad way, is with the programmable feature. And I'm gonna hold up where they explain that in case the verbal explanation I provide isn't adequate, but I'm gonna try to explain it as best as I can. So basically, it's in this program section here. They have 3 menus, I'll call them. The factory menu, which we just saw, which is that, Moonlight up to Turbo and back down to Moonlight. There's also this, doesn't have a name, but I'll call it, tactical maybe. Turbo to strobe to medium, to turbo to strobe to medium. So that's the second menu. And then there's like an eco menu, I'll call it, which is Moonlight to low to medium. And that's nice because if you do just want to use your lower outputs and save your battery and stuff or hand it to a child, this could be good. But where the problem comes in for me, as far as I'm concerned, is right here. How you access the different menus is by, after you turn the light on, in 5 seconds from when you turn it on, you're going to see it kind of blink off and then right back on. And then immediately after you see that, within 0.4 seconds, if you click and unclick, it'll change the program. So it'll bring you into the next menu. You can cycle through the 3 menus that way. I'll show you how that works right here. So we're gonna turn it on. Let me make sure it's on, eco. I don't wanna blind anybody. We're gonna wait a few seconds. You're gonna see it flicker right there. Did you see that little blink? I'm gonna turn it off and do that again just in case you missed it, but we're gonna see a small little blink right there. That was it. So next time around, what I'm gonna do, when we see that blink, I'm gonna click the switch, double click it within 0.4 seconds, and now we have just jumped it onto the next program, which is what I call tactical, but just for lack of a better name. But now when we go through the modes, you've got your strobe, medium, turbo, strobe, medium, turbo. I think I skipped medium, but you get the idea. So that is how you program the modes. And then let me wait for it to blink from here. And now we're in the eco setting. So sure, 1 lumen Moonlight, low, medium, back to Moon. So now we'll turn it off, wait a little bit, turn it back on, it'll blink, give it a double click, and now we're back in its factory configuration. So that is how the programs work. And right, just from on the desk here, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? What's the problem? Like, that's no big deal. Well, when you use this thing, if you turn it on and you're doing your thing using the flashlight, and then you decide you want a different output, and you just happen to change it right at that moment, you've just jumped into the next menu, whether you like it or not. And so now you're gonna get some stuff you may or may not want, and then you may have to go do what I just showed you over again just to get right back to where you started. That's happened to me on accident, just filming the beam shots of this video a few times, and it got pretty frustrating. Now, I will be honest with you, like I've only owned this thing for, a day or two, so I haven't really gotten used to it, and maybe with practice, understanding this light and how it works, you can become, very competent and good at it and not run into the issue that I am. But where it gets me is really that happens. Let me get it back to its factory here, and then I'll restart the clip and we'll take it from here. Okay, I'm back. I didn't want to do that whole show for you again, but yeah, we're back in the factory configuration. What I wanted to show you is that, let's say, you're using whatever output you are, that 5 seconds goes by, you see the blink and you don't click it within 0.4 seconds, so you're good. Now, you're not going to be able to alter the program next time you go to bump up your output or whatever. However, each time you do it, it resets that 5 seconds, so you're going to see it blink again, see? And so really, if you're toggling through your modes and you're not being careful about timing, the thing is you're probably going to accidentally at some point or another jump you into a different menu. And like I said, may or may not be a problem for you, but for me, I found it annoying. I had to, do a whole routine just to get back to where I was, where I wanted it, in the specific program I desired. So that's my critique of this program, how it's set up. I really wish it were different. And Sofirn, if you watch this video, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm not a programmer, or I'm just one guy. I'm just one guy that happens to have a YouTube channel. My opinion doesn't or shouldn't mean anything more than anyone else's. However, I would say just do something a little different where you have to maybe hold the switch, or do it a different way so that it can't be done inadvertently. Another thing I'm not going to complain about, because I don't think it's a big deal personally, is that whenever you do turn on the light, you do get that little flicker right there. That doesn't bother me at all, especially knowing why it's there and what it does. But some people may not want that. When they turn the light on, they just may want constant light all the time as well. So, I mean, that's really the only negative thing I can say about the SC28. Unfortunately, it's just, I don't want to say bad enough, but it's significant enough that, I don't know if I could recommend this to everyone. I mean, I hope this video at least showed you a look at this and kind of the quirk with it. However, everything else about it is good. It's durable. I think it's good value. The beam shots are very impressive as well. I like this. I like the beam profile, the beam pattern. But yeah, there's just that quirk with the UI. So in any case, that's my 2 cents. For what it's worth, like I said, I'm just a guy. I happen to have a YouTube channel. I'm not like, I don't think of myself as like an expert on flashlights even. I'm still learning a lot myself. But yeah, that's my opinion of the SC28. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How would you like the user interface set up, or how to change menus and so on and so forth? I think as a community, we can put our heads together and think of something pretty good. So yeah, we'll take it from there. But I really appreciate you watching the video. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.